Today we're covering two bills, HB2 and SB2, from Texas's 86th legislative session. These bills change property tax law in the state. Here you'll learn what it means for you as a property owner or a taxpayer. My name is Lee Gentry, and this is The Gist, a Vote Foundation video series informing voters like you on the actions and outcomes of your government. In this series, we will cover the spirit and purpose of bills, important parts of a bill that may affect you, and at the end, we'll cover steps you can take to make your voice heard as an informed voter. Now let's jump into it. Bills HB2 and SB2 are titled Relating to Ad Valorem Taxation. Ad valorem, meaning according to value, is a tax commonly associated with property and real estate, as it is designed to scale with the appraisal of a material good. We're talking about two bills because they are companion bills. Think of them as twins, traveling through both the House and the Senate separately. This is done mainly to speed things up and increase the likelihood that the bill will become law before the session ends on May 27th. If both bills succeed in their respective chambers, their differences will be reconciled before reaching the governor's desk to be signed to law. The spirit of HB2 and SB2 are to limit how much property tax can increase year over year across the state. Under current law, local governments can raise property tax upwards of 8% over a year. This bill would limit local governments to a 2.5% year-over-year cap before requiring voter approval in a ballot measure. Supporters of these bills say this would give voters more control over how much they pay for in property taxes. Opponents say this would negatively impact a local government's ability to fund public education, safety, health, and other essential public services. As of the recording of this video, the Senate bill has progressed halfway through the chamber, while the House bill is only a quarter progressed. Now that you have some context, let's focus on parts of the bill that may interest you. The first thing we want to cover is what this new property tax rate could mean in savings over time for the average property owner. Keep in mind that this is not designed to be a tax reduction, but a means to cap the rate in which local governments can raise property taxes in the future without voter participation. Here's some quick math. The median home value in Travis County is roughly $250,000. Let's say by 2020, when this law kicks in, the average effective property tax rate in Travis County is 2%. 2% of $250,000 is $5,000 annually in property tax. If the new laws were enacted, the most Travis County could raise property tax by is 2.5% without voter approval, which would mean a maximum property tax increase of $125 for that year. While there are some differences between the House and the Senate bills, when they refer to a local unit, they're talking about school districts, cities, and counties. Critics are saying this could have an outsized impact on school districts and local units with hospitals that rely more heavily on property tax to function. If your local unit makes less than $15 million in combined property and sales tax revenue annually, it would not be subject to these new reforms. Also note that today, property tax accounts for roughly 60% of local taxes throughout Texas. Projections indicate that the amount lost in taxes from this law's start date in 2020 over just 4 years would be in upwards of $3 billion. There are also several amendments to this bill that limit the eligibility of people who can serve as board members and employees on a newly formed property tax advisory board. Registered lobbyists and employees of the government responsible for taxation are just two examples. While this is good for keeping special interests out of the process, it also reduces the eligible pool of qualified candidates. Now that you have a better sense for what these bills do, where do you stand? Do you oppose or support this legislation? What does this mean for you as a homeowner? How do you think this might affect your local public services? Tell us your story in the comments. This is a new format for us, so please let us know how we can make these videos more useful for you in the future, or if you notice any inaccuracies in our reporting. To tell your elected officials where you stand, visit us through the links in the description below or sign up at www.vote.foundation and search for SB2 or HB2 to vote your conscience and tell your decision makers what you think. Thanks for watching.